Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Bexar County Court at Law number 6 and the Bexar County Veterans Treatment Court. Motion to revoke probation and plea docket. Today is Monday, the 26th of April, 2021 at approximately 2:15 p.m. The cases I have set today include motions to revoke probation on State of Texas versus Richard Lozano, cause 644-880. Represented by Todd Coronado, and cause number 650102. State of Texas versus Daniel Garcia, represented by Mr. Alberto Rodriguez. Representing the Bexar County CSCD today will be Ms. Susan Gross, who I will swear at this time. Ms. Gross, please raise your right hand. You swear the testimony you're about to give to be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir, I do.
Representing the Bexar County Criminal District Attorney's Office is Ms. Alexis O'Connell, who will be representing the state in all matters before the court today. I have pleas set. Cause number 636-414, State of Texas versus Pedro Lucio. Cause 634-304 and 634-306, Kyle Eccles. And 627-171 and 649-429, Larietta Holmes. Mr. Lucio represented by, looks like Andrew Froelich, is that correct? And
sorry, Judge. Yes, he's having trouble. Mr. Lucio's having a hard time logging on, so we will be joining the proceedings a little late.
Mr. Eccles represented by Ms. Alma Benavides, and Mr. Holmes represented by Todd Coronado. Is all that correct? Let's start with the motions to revoke probation. I've got cause number 644-880, style State of Texas versus Richard Lozano. This is titled Motion to Revoke Community Supervision. The first document I need Mr. Lozano and Mr. Coronado to identify is a document entitled Defendant's Consent to Motion to Revoke Hearing by Video Conference, which purports to have both Mr. Lozano's and Mr. Coronado's signature on it. Mr. Lozano, is this your signature on this document, sir? Mr. Lozano, your microphone is off. You need to turn your microphone on, sir.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? We got you, sir. Did you get my question? You want me to re-ask it, sir?
No, yes, sir.
Okay, so this is your signature on this defendant's consent to motion to revoke?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. And Mr. Coronado, as attorney for Mr. Lozano, is this your signature on this document, sir?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Lozano, the next document I'm looking at is entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, which is marked as a revocation of the defendant's community supervision and the right to appeal the court's actions, revoking the community supervision, but not the underlying conviction. Is this your signature on this document, sir?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. And Mr. Coronado, once again, as attorney for Mr. Lozano, is this your signature on this document?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
Thank you. My understanding, Mr. Coronado, is this is an uncontested motion to revoke. Is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Good. Mr. Lozano, and cause 880 on the motion to revoke community supervision. How do you plead, sir?
True.
Thank you. Ms. Gross, would you please advise the court and the parties of the status of Mr. Lozano's probation at this time?
Judge, Mr. Lozano has performed very poorly on probation in that he never appeared to sign his original conditions of probation at intake. So he has done absolutely nothing on probation. And the probation department is recommending revocation.
I pushed something else. It says sign into your account. But I finished everything. It said, the last thing it said was I was all set up that I signed.
Is that Mr. Lozano talking or who's talking? Do we know?
It's not Mr. Lozano. I don't know.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear it.
No problem, sir. I haven't asked you a question yet. Ms. Gross, my question for you is, does Mr. Lozano have any prior offenses that we need to be concerned about?
He has no criminal history, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Coronado, with your permission, I have a question for Mr. Lozano. Why did you not report, sir? You don't have a prior criminal record. I don't understand.
Yeah.
Is that for me? The question for me?
Yeah, for you, Richard. Tell him what you told me.
Okay. Yeah, I was having problems with my 21-year-old son, and but that's all taken care of now, sir.
Okay. Mr. Coronado, what are you requesting?
Your Honor, actually, he had a question of, he's kind of leaning towards just doing his time, but he wanted to know if they give him 3 for 1 as trustee or 2 for 1 as good time. If not, then I told him about trying to get back on probation, and if you do allow him back, he should be able. He's in a better situation now with his son, so he should be able to do what he has to do on probation. Is that right, Richard?
Yes, sir.
State, what's your recommendation on Mr. Lozano?
Along with probation, Judge.
And Mr. Lozano has what, 15 days jail credit? Does that sound right?
That's about right. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Lozano, are you working? What are you doing, sir?
Not at the moment.
He doesn't need it.
And when let me back up a second, and I apologize, I should have asked you this a moment ago. When you said you were having problems with your son, and that's what took your attention off of going on probation with us, what does that mean? What were the problems you were having with your son? If you don't mind?
Well, he was out there in the streets, doing bad, so I had to get him back home. And but we worked it out, and he's back home now.
Okay, so he's doing better at this time?
Yes, sir.
Hey, do you have any information about how aggravated or not aggravated this particular DWI offense was for Mr. Lozano?
I can pull it up real quick. Judge.
You wouldn't mind. I guess I'm sure there's no accident, and how high a blood or breath test might be.
So I guess sometime later on this week, I'm guessing, or next week? Yeah. Yeah, no, it's not my rate coming up and stuff.
Confirm for me that Mr. Lozano has
Yes. Yes, I know, because I know it's just, I have my rate coming up, my kids and stuff like that, you know what I mean? So I'm just trying to.
Excuse me.
I respect that.
15 days jail credit?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, no, I appreciate that. I know you're working your best and doing whatever you can. I know it's not nobody's fault, but I know he's busy.
And I'm
He
sorry.
told me last week too that he was going out of town this week, so I knew.
Excuse me, sir,
He was kind of.
Like for Alexis to see if she found any aggravating factors on the original arrest.
Sorry, Judge, this program takes forever in a day.
I beg your pardon?
This program takes forever to pull anything up.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I guess
So what do I do with felony murder next week?
we would know about it if
How do
there.
I do it? How does that affect this? You know?
Judge, I'm sorry, you were walked over.
No restitution in this case?
Oh, okay.
Let me double check
Oh,
for you.
okay. Yes, ma'am, I understand.
It's taking me back up, all right.
Your
All right,
verification.
sign, like, please, click to sign, all right. All right, it says processing documents.
Restitution was to be investigated, but we do not have a dollar amount.
Judge, the blood was 0.192, and let me pull up the police report.
And Susan was, let's see. What was the original fine on this case, if you have that information in front of you?
Yes, sir, I do. Hang on, let me get back to that screen. His original fine was $400.
Judge, there was an accident.
Mr. Lozano, the court accepts your plea of true to all conditions on the motion to revoke probation with an explanation. I grant the state's motion to revoke your probation. I sentence you to 45 days in the Bexar County Jail. I assess a $400 fine plus court costs. Credit for time served, time and money to run concurrent, judgment satisfied. Anything further from the state or the defense on Mr. Lozano?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Let Mr. Lozano, thank your lawyer, sir. He did a great job for you. You have any questions, Mr. Lozano? Mr. Lozano, can you hear me, sir?
Your Honor, he's muted because it was too much noise.
Mr. Lozano, get your microphone turned on, please.
I'm asking him, but
He said something about whether.
Okay, can you hear me?
yes.
If you have any questions
How
before
many cases?
we let you go.
Just one, right?
No, am I still gonna talk to my lawyer after
Yeah, can
this?
I talk to him, Your Honor, in the breakout room? Tell him what you decided.
Pat. Thank you.
Put him in a breakout room.
Thank you, sir.
Todd,
Yes.
we're in, let's go into room 1 again.
Okay.
And Mr. Lozano should be able to go into Mr. Lozano, you need to try to go into the breakout room you were in before. It should be in there. It says join breakout room. You know what? I'll move it. It'd just be easier. Hold on.
Thank you.
Let me move to like
Hello?
4. Okay,
Oh, how do I get
there
to
you go.
that?
4.
Mr. Lucio, we can hear you. Put yourself on mute.
There you go. There you
Okay.
go into a breakout room, Mr. Lozano. You should see a little blue button that says join breakout room.
I'm sorry, I can't find you.
If you can get a deputy to help you.
Just a minute.
Mr. Lucio, you need to mute your microphone. Thank you.
Okay. They're going to get a deputy. So, Your Honor, you can go on.
All right, the next case I have is called 650102, Style Theater, Texas versus Daniel Garcia. This is a motion to revoke community supervision. Representing Mr. Garcia is Mr. Alberto Rodriguez. Mr. Garcia, the first question I have for you is identifying your signature on the document entitled
Don't answer, when they call you, don't answer the phone, babe.
Defendant's Consent to Motion to Revoke Hearings by Video Conference. Is this your signature on this document, Mr. Garcia?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. And Mr. Rodriguez, as attorney for Mr. Garcia, is this your signature on this document?
It is, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Garcia, the next document I'm looking at is entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, which is marked, quote, is a revocation of the defendant's community supervision, and the defendant has a right to appeal the court's actions revoking the community supervision, but not the underlying conviction, unquote. Is this your signature on this document, Mr. Garcia?
Yes, sir.
And once again, Mr. Rodriguez, is this your signature as attorney for Mr. Garcia?
It is, Your Honor.
Okay. And Mr. Rodriguez, my understanding is this is an uncontested motion to revoke. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Mr. Garcia, on the motion to revoke community supervision in cause 50102, how do you plead, sir?
Not me.
Did you plead true or not true? Are these allegations true or are they not true?
True.
All right. Ms. Gross, would you please advise the court and the parties of the status of Mr. Garcia's probation?
Yes, Your Honor. The defendant has reported as directed. We last saw him on March 30th, 2021. This is his first violation report, first motion to revoke. He's paid $134 towards his fees, has a balance of $1,058, and he is delinquent $224. He has not completed any of his 48 hours of community service. He failed to submit to drug testing on one occasion. He had a positive drug test for alcohol. And we have no proof of enrollment or completion of DWI education, victim impact panel, or the CAT-SNP program. He is currently on Smart Start Mobile testing it 4 times a day. He has had 23 skip tests and 2 high BRACs. On February the 7th, 2021, he had a high BRAC of 0.030, and that was at 5:05 p.m. And then on the 8th day of February, he had a high BRAC of 0.053. His officer is recommending that he be placed on SCRAM, zero tolerance probation, enroll in the CAT-SNP program within 5 days, and conduct monthly drug testing. He has 1 prior charge of assault bodily injury married, which occurred on January 13th of 2019. There is no case setting or anything on that case. It does not show a warrant was ever issued or he was ever booked on that case. And then he also has a prior arrest for criminal mischief, which I believe was taken into consideration on this case.
Okay, so basically, Mr. Garcia has reported properly. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And in reviewing some of his records, was he on 3 times a day blows on the Smart Start mobile and not our normal 4 during the 3 or 4 months of his probation?
That's correct. He was originally on 3 blows a day and he was recently switched to 4 blows a day.
Defense request?
Your Honor, that the court honor the probation recommendation of keeping him on probation. He does tell me he has some of his programs that he did not enroll because he had no money or funds to pay, and he is unemployed.
Well, best I can tell, the only thing Mr. Garcia has done properly on probation is report. He hasn't, I mean, he's had what, almost 4 months of being on probation and he hasn't completed any programs? Can you explain that?
I asked him about it. He said he didn't have any money to enroll in the programs. I don't know if he
Yes, sir. I can
required to
explain to
pay.
that.
Are you working, sir? What are you doing?
So I'm on a, I guess you could say, disability type thing. I got injured about 2 years ago on my back. So I have slipped disc in my back and my neck. I'm not properly able to work at the moment. So the only way I'm able to pay for the Smart Start and a little bit of probation is when I go and ask my dad or ask somebody. And the only reason my dad's paying for the machine is because that's what the biggest thing he said was on basically on the case and the probation, paying every once in a while. I mean, whatever I can. And that's what the probation officer had told me.
All right.
As long as I pay something.
Mr. Rodriguez, my understanding is Mr. Garcia is telling us the reason he didn't complete programs, wasn't able to afford them. So I guess Scram is not really an option since it costs $350 a month. Does that sound right?
That's correct, Your Honor.
And Susan, do you have the original fine amount on this particular case in front of you?
Yes, Your Honor. It was $450.
State recommendation, did you go along with probation? Is that what you said?
I was going to, Judge, but now that I know that he can't afford it, maybe just a jail sentence would be an easier option.
Mr. Garcia, the court accepts your plea of conditions on the motion to revoke probation. I grant the state's motion to revoke your probation. I sentence you to 39 days in the Bexar County Jail. That's a $450 fine plus court costs, credit for time served, time and money to run concurrent judgment satisfied. Further from the state from Mr. Garcia.
So can I talk to my lawyer? Because I don't want to do time. I mean, I need to talk to my lawyer about that before we send
I'll
it.
explain that to you, sir. You're not doing any more time. You're getting out of jail tonight or whatever.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Susan, he apparently still has a Smart Start mobile device. You need to turn that in, I'm guessing. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor. I will get the order signed and it'll go to the officer tomorrow. And so probably on Wednesday, Mr. Garcia, reach out to your probation officer and make sure that that order has been sent over. And then you will be able to go and turn in that device, but you'll need to communicate with your probation officer, okay?
Okay, no problem.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
You want to send them to a chat room so Mr. Rodriguez can explain to Mr. Garcia what we just did?
Mr. Rodriguez, do you want to do that? I will do that.
Or do you want? You can't talk to him otherwise. He's in jail.
Okay, go into 3 again. If you
Okay.
and Mr. Garcia, you need to go back into the chat room number 3. Try get one of the bailiffs to help you if you need to.
Okay, thank you.
You can't see it to go in. Talk to them. Go back to the same room that you were in.
While you're back there, thank your lawyer because he saved you from 6 months in jail.
Thank you.
Okay. Any further from Mr. Garcia?
Judge, may I be excused?
You bet. Thank you, Ms. Gross.
Holler if you need anything, sir.
You bet. Okay, I have 3 pleas. One cause 627-171, State of Texas versus Larietta Homes. My understanding is another case 649-429 will be TIC'd in the plea bargain on 627-171. And it appears that the attorney on this case is Todd Coronado. Okay. The next case I have is called 634-304, which has a companion case of 634-306, which my understanding the plea bargain incorporates as a take into consideration on the plea on 634-304, and the attorney Alma Benavides, and this is State of Texas versus Kyle Eccles. And the last plea I have is called 636-414, State of Texas versus Pedro Lucio Jr., represented by Mr. Andrew Froelich. So, once again, for all purposes, our Assistant Criminal Justice Attorney is Ms. O'Connell, and the attorneys have already been represented on the record. Therefore, in cause 627-171, State of Texas versus Larietta Homes, 634-304, State of Texas versus Kyle Eccles, and 636-414, State of Texas versus Pedro Lucio Jr. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm looking at a document entitled Defendant's Consent to Plea by Video Conference, which purports to have your signatures on it. Mr. Holmes, in cause 627-171, is this your signature on this document?
I am a ma'am, and yes, it is.
I'm sorry, thank you. Ms. Holmes, is that your signature, ma'am?
Yes.
Thank you so much. And attorney for Ms. Holmes, is that your signature on this document?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
Okay. In cause 634-304, State of Texas versus Kyle Eccles. Mr. Eccles, is this your signature on this document, sir? Mr. Eccles, your microphone's turned off, sir. You need to punch it on. There you go.
Can you hear me? Yep. Yeah. Yes, it is.
All right. Thank you, sir. And Benavides, as attorney for Mr. Eccles, is this your signature on this document, ma'am?
Yes, it is.
Thank you. And in cause 636-414, State of Texas for Pedro Lucio Jr. Mr. Lucio, is this your signature on this document?
Yes, sir, it is.
And Mr. Froelich, as attorney for Mr. Lucio, is this also?
Yes, sir.
At this time, I'm looking at a document entitled Defendant's Waiver of Constitutional Rights and Court's Admonitions that purports to have your signatures on the back, effectively waiving certain constitutional rights you must waive in order to enter a plea before this court. In fact, Ms. Holmes, is this your signature on this document, ma'am?
Ms. Holmes?
Can you hear me, ma'am?
What you say?
There she is. Ms. Holmes, is this your signature on this document, ma'am?
Yes, I apologize. My daughter was speaking.
You're all good. Thank you, ma'am. And Mr. Eccles, is this your signature on this document, sir?
Yes, sir, it is.
Mr. Lucio, is this your signature on this document, sir? Your microphone's still on, Mr. Lucio. I mean, still off. I apologize.
Yes, sir, it's my signature.
Each of you, by signing this document, are you telling me that you've had enough time to either read this document, have it read to you in its entirety? If you had any questions about what was on this, the question is satisfaction by your attorney, so that in signing this document, you're telling me that you agree with and understand everything on this document. Is that correct, Ms. Holmes?
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Is that correct, Mr. Eccles?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Is that correct, Mr. Lucio?
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. As attorney for Ms. Holmes, have you had enough time to go over this case with her? And in your opinion, is she mentally competent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Same question for Ms. Benavides, as attorney for Mr. Eccles.
Yes, Your Honor.
Same question for Mr. Froelich, as attorney for Mr. Lucio.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Holmes, are you a United States citizen, ma'am?
Yes.
Thank you. Same question for Mr. Eccles.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Same question for Mr.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Ms. Coronado, the attorney for Ms. Holmes, has the state fully complied with discovery for you on this case?
Yes, sir.
Same question for attorney for Mr. Eccles, Ms. Benavides.
Yes, Your
Yes,
Honor.
sir.
Questions, attorney for Mr. Lucio, Mr. Froelich.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ms. Holmes, to the charge of prostitution and clause 67171, how do you plead?
No contest.
Is there an agreement for Ms. Holmes?
6 months deferred adjudication, $300 fine plus court costs, 24 hours community service, an AIDS awareness course, and a no contact order with the intersection of West Martin Street and North Rio Street, and TIC cause number 649429.
And Mr. Coronado, is that your understanding of the agreement?
It is, Your Honor. We're just asking that you probate all or part of the fine. Ms. Holmes has 2 children that she's taking care of, and she is self-employed. So we're just asking that you give her a break on the money.
And state, normally on plea bargains, you've already agreed to a fine amount. Do I have your authority to reduce the fine if I feel like that's warranted?
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
Thank you.
What is the second case that we're TICing on this thing?
Possession, Judge, of a controlled substance.
In clause 6271271, Ms. Holmes, the court accepts your plea of no contest. Although I have enough evidence to find you guilty, I'm going to withhold the finding of guilt. Place you on 6 months deferred adjudication probation. That's a $300 fine, probating $100 of that plus court cost. 24 hours community service, AIDS awareness course, or you have no contact with the intersection of West Martin Street and North Rio Streets in San Antonio, Bexar County, Texas during the term of your probation. The court will take into consideration clause 649429, which is granted, and it shall be dismissed. Anything further from the state or the defense on Ms. Holmes in 67171?
No, Your Honor.
Good luck, Ms. Holmes. Thank you, Mr. Coronado.
Well, may I go to the breakout room with Ms. Holmes, please? I can explain everything to her.
Pat, do you want to brief her on how she's going to get in touch with probation?
Oh, yeah. Ms. Holmes, you should be notified or contacted by probation within 48 hours. If you do not hear from them, you need to call the probation department. You need a pen or paper so that you can write that down.
Email it.
I can email it to you. I'll email it and explain everything. Let me see if I can get you into the breakout room. And
Otherwise, Pat, I can just call her. I can just call her right now.
okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you all. My big
All
excuse.
right.
You bet.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Judge.
You bet. Okay, Mr. Eccles, in clause 634304. To the charge of resisting arrest, how do you plead, sir?
No contest.
Thank you, sir. Is there an agreement for Mr. Eccles?
Yes.
12 months deferred adjudication, $300 fine plus court
No,
costs.
no, this was a JSAT on the pleading on the resisting, and that was supposed to be a JSAT, and TIC the criminal trespass.
Do you have like the email from Jeffrey? He never noted that in the file.
Yes. Yeah, it was from Nick.
Can you forward that to me? He didn't upload that to the file.
Yeah, I've got it. So I've got it in the file somewhere. I can email that to you.
What was your understanding of the plea bargain you're talking about that was a JSAT? What were the terms?
Your Honor, the plea bargain that my client accepted, it was an offer that was made by Nick. And it was to enter a plea. It was sent on April 20th. No, I'm sorry. It was to enter a plea on 6/3/4/304. And it was the state's intention to give him time served, judgment satisfied. And
How many days was the sentence on the JSAT plea you're talking about?
whatever amount he has, I don't know what he has exactly.
Your Honor, he has 2 days on both cases. So
All right, so say 5 days, something like that. Does that sound adequate?
Yes, and then TIC, the criminal trespass.
Okay. And Alexis, do you want to take a moment and call his partner and see what he says?
Call me. Oh, they're gonna go.
Your Honor, and I have the email of October the 12th, 2020.
Okay, hang on to that for just a second and I'm sure Nick will remember. In the 30 years I've known Miss Benavides, no one has ever called her a flim-flammer. Some other things maybe, but not a flim-flammer. I think you were 12 when I first met you. You started practicing something like that.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You have a good memory, Judge.
Okay, so it's JSATting the resisting and TIC criminal trespass, right, Alma?
Yes.
Yes.
Did he find the email? Okay, great.
Yes, that's exactly what it is, Judge.
All right, Alexis, go ahead and tell us orally what your understanding of the terms of the plea bargain is, including a JSAT, and then Alma, tell me if that's your understanding also.
So for the JSAT, it would be 2 days Bexar County Jail, $0 fine plus court costs, credit for time served, time and money to run concurrent, and then TIC cause number 634306.
And then JSAT. And I apologize, I missed the fine amount. How much would that be? 300?
Correct, Judge.
And Alma, is that your understanding of the agreement?
That it's going to be a JSAT on the resisting and TIC, the criminal trespass?
Correct.
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
Mr. Eccles, in cause 634304, the court accepts your plea of no contest to the offense of resisting arrest. I find you guilty. I said 5 days in the Bexar County Jail, a $300 fine plus court cost, credit for time served, time and money to run concurrent. Taking into consideration clause 634306, which is granted, it shall be dismissed. Judgment satisfied. Anything further from the state or the defense on Mr. Eccles?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Good luck, Mr. Eccles. Thank you, Ms. Benavides.
Thank you, Judge. May we be excused?
Okay, cause 636414, the detective versus Pedro Lucio Jr. This is going to start out as a DWI greater than 1.5. Does that sound right? That's the original.
Correct, Judge.
Is that going to be reduced by the state? Are you waiving the enhancement on this one or not?
No, Judge.
Okay, so look, your client is pleading to DWI greater than 1.5. Is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. 636414, Mr. Lucio, for the charge of driving while intoxicated with a blood or breath alcohol content greater than 0.15. How do you plead, sir?
Guilty, sir.
No contest, is that correct?
It was intended to be a no contest plea, Your Honor.
Court accepts the plea of no contest. Is there an agreement in this case?
Yes, sir.
1/1 plus $500 fine and court costs, 48 hours community service, WI education, IP, CAT SNP, Smart Start Mobile for half the term, and restitution if any.
Okay, Mr. Furlock, is that your understanding of the agreement?
The rest cut off, but yes, Judge, that is understanding the agreement.
Mr. Lucio, the court accepts the plea of no contest. Driving while intoxicated with a blood or breath alcohol content greater than 0.15. I find you guilty. I said 1 year in probation. $500 fine plus court costs, 48 hours community service, DWI education course, DWI victim impact panel, Community Alliance for Traffic Safety, new intervention program, outpatient drug, Smart Start Mobile Home Interlock for 6 months, which is 1/2 the term. And you are to pay restitution, if any, to Dina Bland. If there's a question on the amount of restitution, Scarlett, bring that to my attention. We'll have a restitution hearing to determine that. Fair enough? Yep. All right. Anything further from the state or the defense on Mr. Lucio? And Mr. Lucio, did you understand Ms. Benavides' instructions on it? If the probation department does not contact you within 48 hours, you need to call them?
Yes, sir.
You got that number right now?
Could I
Mr.
get the number to it?
What I will do is I will also email you with the information, okay? That way you'll have it in writing.
Okay, thank you.
All righty. All righty.
All I got. Let's throw you to jail if you wish, or you can hang around. You're so much fun.
No offense, Judge. I'm out. Good to see y'all. Thank you.
Bye.